Welcome to the golden era of the British Touring Car Championship with this fantastic brand new mod pack from Virtual Racing Car Studios for Assetto Corsa, featuring the Vorax Vector, the Gojira Ascent and the Fortix Mando, each inspired by the iconic cars of the 1999 BTCC season. To show you just how good these cars are, I'm going to take you out on track and show you highlights from a fantasy round of that 1999 BTCC season, switching between the three different cars at different stages of the race and give you my take on how each compares. And we are already underway then in the cockpit of John Clelland's Vorax Vector, clearly inspired by the Vauxhall Vectra. The former series champion would unfortunately go on to have a relatively unremarkable season in 1999, largely reflecting a lack of pace in the car that season. But despite that, I've found that the Vector is in many respects the most straightforward of the three cars straight out of the box to drive. It's marginally the quicker of the three in a straight line, reaching up to 278 km/h, but more than that, it felt quite planted to me and less punishing on braking and throttle application. That said, the sense of speed and power is still unbelievably raw compared to modern machinery, and there's a sense that the car will have you in the barrier if you take liberties with it, especially through some of the undulating corners here at Brands Hatch. But you can save the occasional slide with a bit of opposite lock and by being quick with the application of throttle and brake. All in all, it adds up to a thrilling drive, something which is true of all three cars in the pack. But I do know what you're thinking. How do they compare to the free mods of a similar era already available for Assetto Corsa? And the honest answer is, I don't know. I haven't spent enough time with the free mods to give you a declarative take, but let me know in the comments if a comparison video would be helpful. Right then, as you can see, we've skipped forward to Alan Menu fighting at the front of the field in his Fortix Mando, clearly inspired by the iconic Ford Mondeo, which was in reality the poorest performing car on the grid in 1999, albeit that would all change come the following season. I think overall this is my favourite of the three cars despite that, but it was certainly the biggest handful to drive. In my first few runs behind the wheel, I was losing the back end quite a bit, and it took some patience to understand where the limit of the car was and how to catch some of those slides. But this perhaps provides the most enjoyable driving experience of the three cars, and if you're enjoying this video, hitting that like button would be a huge help to the channel and help more sim racers find this review on YouTube. But back to the VRC Tourers pack. I'm sure you can adjust some of the car characteristics with setup tweaks. I haven't explored any of that yet, and I'm driving these as they come out of the box in the release version. The three cars do seem to be well balanced for AI racing though. I'm running them on around 90% difficulty and 65% aggression, and the battles so far have been great, as you can tell from this classic door banging on screen at the moment. But it's even more aggressive for the Gojira of Peter Cox just a lap later, as he's pitched into a spin and the yellow flags are out. He's tumbled down the field and he's going to have a huge job on his hands to recover positions. The Gojira Ascent then is our third car, inspired by the Honda Accord. Just like the other two, the Gojira has a great sense of speed and acceleration. It's slightly looser than the Vector, at least in the default setup, but not quite as tail happy as the Mando felt in my hands. As with the other two cars, the sound is phenomenal. Check this out. Each of the cars come with some lovingly recreated liveries inspired by classic colour schemes, so while I'm sure the modding community will soon be releasing replica liveries from across the season, you don't need them to have an authentic feeling race straight away. So should you buy this mod pack? Well, for any fans of touring cars, and especially BTCC, for me, it's a must buy. It staggers me how good the quality of content has been coming out of VRC and RSS this year. The Formula cars, the classic endurance cars, and now this. It's so good to have more cars from this era of BTCC, which I'm sure for many of you is a fixture either of your childhood or early adult years tuning in to motorsport on the TV. I've left a link in the description for how you can get the pack and how much it costs. And if you want to see my review of another stellar Assetto Corsa mod pack, check out the link on screen now.